Hello again. I hope you've had a chance to look at the video we did on using the core needs cards. Well, today I'm going to introduce you to another set of cards that we call roles played in families, and the two sets are connected. We were looking at the core needs cards about the needs that were and weren't met in childhood. If we didn't get our emotional needs met, for example, the need for complete acceptance and belonging and kind, tender touch, we could cry, we could express our feelings freely and still feel okay. What do we do in childhood? Somebody once said if we don't process our emotions, we have to manage them. And the roles played in families are suggesting some of the ways we manage life when we don't get our emotional needs met in the way we need it. We've divided the cards into rescuers, helpless, performers and controllers. And we're going to show you them now and explain how to use them. So these are the rescuer roles, the things we did in childhood to make other people's lives easier, to win approval and affection. So for example, I have a very strong good girl in my life. My inner child, my little Pauline, is nice and compliant and keeps everyone happy and doesn't like it when other people row and are in conflict. That is also because when I was little, I was a peacemaker. I calm everyone down and stop any conflicts or disagreements with the skills of a 7 or 8 year old, which were not very effective and caused me quite a lot of anxiety. But I wanted to be Mummy's little helper, to understand her, make her happy, take her side and never disappoint her. So I was something of a caretaker in my family. My role is to take care of everyone and clean up everyone's mess, but I wasn't very good at it. Eventually, as I went into teenage, I became a reverse role parent where I spent a lot of time listening to my mother's worries and trying to meet her needs as she was very ill. I wonder which of these might apply to you as you look at them and what memories and feelings it brings up. And are we still doing that? As I said, I know I try and be a peacemaker even now, and I try to be good. And this can turn us into a compulsive rescuer. I will try and ease your pain, whether you want me to or not. Let's have a quick look at the performer roles. Are you a Mr. or Mrs. Do-It-All? I can do everything, whatever you need or want, I can do it. Or maybe you're an entertainer. The best thing to do in a crisis is make everyone smile, make them laugh, stop them being angry or cross, cheer everyone up. It's a little bit like the hero. My role is to make everyone feel safe. I will know what to do, deal with crises, make it all better, come sweeping in with your Superman or Superwoman costume on. Is that part of being strong? I never show feelings or express emotion. That's being weak. Or maybe you always had to be happy. Don't bother people with your problems. Don't ever imply that life isn't perfect. In our home, my sister and I were definitely superstars. We did well at school because we knew that one praise and approval, that the message was do your best, but underneath was be the best. And that can put pressure on you. I loved sports as well, and they brought happiness into the home when we did well. All of these things can create a performer script. I wonder which one is you. So let's look at the helpless roles. Poor little old me. I find life really hard. Nothing ever goes right for me. I need to be needy and fragile so everyone looks after me. I just can't do life without help. It can be quite hard when people have adopted that way of surviving, when, as counsellors, we long for them to have more resilience, to be more empowered. I want to be clear that the invalid is a role here. My mother was an invalid. She was quadriplegic, and This is about people who adopt the role of invalid to get attention. Remembering the core needs cards about kindness when ill, and sometimes that is identified with the way you get loved. It may be connected. It can be quite complicated what drives these ways of being. And being the scapegoat, I take the blame when other people won't take responsibility. How come it always turns out to be my fault? I think responsibility is a big issue to look at in counselling. What am I able to respond to appropriately? Maybe you've always felt the outsider. No matter what I do, I never really fit in. I feel invisible, but maybe that's easier actually than being seen. But that's a painful place. Just take a look at these briefly and see if any of these might be part of your story, or you're beginning to sense that's what my father did, that's what my brother did. Perhaps. And finally, the control roles, and there are many. Actually, a number of these could fit into the other categories as well. But there are the roles which, after all I've done for you, how can you do this to me when I've been so good to you? And the martyr, I will make you feel guilty because of how much I suffer. They can be very powerful roles in our lives, particularly when we're small. The volcano might seem an obvious control role. I will explode with anger if you cross me. But what about the iceberg? I will punish you with my silence. Very powerful again. Sulk, I will go into a bad mood, pull a long face and create an atmosphere until I get my own way. Friend of the drama queen, perhaps? I will respond in as melodramatic way as possible so that everybody backs off. Like tears can have that role, and being fragile, if you confront me, I will fall apart. And we realize how difficult it is to say challenging things to people, and they manage to control the atmosphere, the family, the relationship dynamics. And this can have a profound effect on us. More obvious roles like the bulldozer, I will push over you, I will get my own way, override other people's ideas, and an outright bully. Intimidation and control. The one who always knows best. Leave it all with me. I will decide for you. And then again, I'll have a heart attack if you upset me. Did anyone ever say to you, you will be the death of me? And is there someone in your family when you were growing up? Was there someone who was just a wind-up merchant, always stirring it in the background? Quite like the rebel as well. Sometimes that's an act of strength as well as control. But what about the spoilt brat? I will throw a tantrum if you don't let me have my own way. Difficult to live with, difficult to grow up with. I wonder what your life was like. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed meeting all the characters and the roles played in Families cards. We had a lot of fun deciding on what pictures to put on the cards. You'll get them all in this pack, which I'll explain in a moment. But the way we use them really is just to hand the cards to the clients and let them find themselves. And so many stories and feelings come out of it. And as they think about what their father was like, their mother, their brothers, sisters, grandparents, can bring out dynamics that are still going on today. And I will add another short video to show you how to use some of the other cards included in this pack, which you get exactly like the core needs cards. It has guidelines for using the cards at the beginning, and then you get 2 of each laminate with all the cards on, and you cut them out yourself. Full details of how to obtain them will be coming up after this video. I really hope you enjoy them. We've had so many good reports back, and many counsellors are using these across the country now. So join in and let me know how you get on. Thank you.